All right, all right, all right. Hello. What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Yes. Happy Tuesday. I should probably know what day of the week it is. All right. Want to say hey to people in the chat. What is going on? Greetings, caveman. He said liberals are the worst. What's going on, Maple Tree? Greetings from Europe, 1 a.m. work day, and I am not regretting it. A Finny lady was amazing. P.S. As if collective bargaining was invented yesterday in the U.S., it's not. So people are afraid of that novelty. Sad. Shout out. All right. Hello, misanthropic and out of coffee. Extinction Rebellion called for a tax strike in the UK. Rebellion in every manner. All right. The UK is, I am always impressed because you guys are ahead of us in many ways when it comes to demanding things. What's going on, Eric Thomas? How are you? Greetings. Hello, Hobnobs. Hi, Sabby. Hi, Sab writes. Sabby writes. Hey, that's cute. Looking forward to a great show. Thank you. What is going on, Diane? She is a Sabby Sabs member. Shout out to Diane, everyone. Eric Thomas, hello there, friend. Greetings, Jonathan. Sabinistas. Hey, I like that. That's cute. I like that name. Hello, Trevor. How are you? Good vibes. Good vibes. What is going on, David? David is coming from Chester, Virginia. I don't know if that is that it Northern Virginia or Southern Virginia. Are you a part of Nova? Ashuri, be careful, Sabby. You have the squad member like Tlaib in your thumbnail. You'll be target of the synthetic leftists like Tim Black on receiving end. LOL. That's all right. I'm a tough girl. Greetings, Ingy Stardust. Hey, Sabby, don't forget about a couple of us who watch and send tips on Rockfin. Love you and your show tons. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. Shout out to everyone who is watching on Rockfin. I actually stream using StreamYard, and for whatever reason, this is a capability Rockfin doesn't have just yet. So when people comment on StreamYard, I don't actually see comments from Rockfin. I have to go to the video to see those comments. But thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Greg. Greetings, Valerie. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Lizzie Prickles. Hello. Carbomoth. Hello. You can hear echo? Can you guys hear echo? Anybody? Or is it just him? Maybe it's just him. Greetings, Where Pilgrim. Hello, Monique in London. All right. Shout out to Radical Leftist Agenda. She is a Sabby, or excuse me, she or he is a Sabby Sabs member. Hello, great to see you. Let's see. Okay, no one else can hear echo, so I don't know. All right, cool. Welcome to Sabby Sabs Podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. I want to remind everyone, if you are new to my show, that Sabby Sabs Podcast is a part of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. If you did not get a chance to do so after the stream, definitely go check out the interview that Nick and Affinity did on FHL Today with Brianna Joy Gray. That was an awesome discussion. And I'm not going to keep you guys long tonight. I'm going to have a hard stop at 8 o'clock because Nick is actually bringing on Dr. Cornell West is going to be on Fred Hampton Leftist tonight at 9 o'clock. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like jumping from one thing to another thing. I like to have a little bit of a break in between. So I will be stopping exactly at 8 o'clock tonight. I promise. I promise. What is going on, Propaganda Live? Shout out. Shout out. If you guys don't know, Propaganda Live has his own show where he plays video games like Call of Duty and he talks about politics. So that is pretty cool. Absolutely. That's right, Astro Gypsy. Dr. West will be on FHL at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So don't forget to check that out. Hi, Josh Davis. Always a pleasure to see you. Miss G says, yes, the FHL crew outdoing themselves with these awesome guests. We've been working hard, you guys. We've been working really hard. Absolutely. Absolutely. Robin said, if leftist turns out not to work, try some anarchy. Cool. All right. I am going to go ahead and get into today's news. I have two stories for you tonight. Let me turn off my dehumidifier because that thing can be kind of loud. Um, All right. Wow. A super chat already. Thank you, Roger Meadows, for the super chat. I don't have enough money to tell how much corporate corrupt Cuomo has done in my state over a decade. He made so many enemies in his own party that Dems still going through with impeachment. Glad he's gone. We are going to talk about him. We are going to talk about him. Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, David? 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of Hardlands Media. Shout out to Hardlands Media. Those guys are awesome. Cool. Greg, thanks so much for the super chat. Chris Cuomo is a Fredo Corleone Democrat. Oh boy, he's bringing in The Godfather. Have you guys seen the Godfather movies? I've seen all three of them. The third one was the worst. Just my personal opinion. That one, they didn't need to make. First one's the best in my opinion. The second one is still good, but the third one, you can skip that one. Really good movies though. Mr. X said, glad he's gone as well. So, as you guys can imagine, uh, the first story I'm going to get into tonight is Governor Andrew Cuomo has officially resigned, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let him tell you. I'm going to play the video clip. And I'm sorry I'm laughing, but it's just, this guy is too much, man. This guy is too much. Let me make sure my volume is set. All right. Let me pause. Okay. So I'm going to play the video of him making this announcement. This news broke today. And I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this. So here we go. Without further ado, I am going to share my screen. Share audio. All right. Let me mute my mic.
Today. Government needs to perform. It is a matter of life and death, government operations. And wasting energy on distractions is the last thing that state government should be doing. And I cannot be the cause of that. New York tough means New York loving. And I love New York. And I love you. And everything I have ever done has been motivated by that love. And I would never want to be unhelpful in any way. And I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do. Because I work for you. And doing the right thing is doing the right thing for you. Because as we say, it's not about me, it's about we. Kathy Hochul, my lieutenant governor, is smart, and competent. This transition must be seamless. We have a lot going on. I'm very worried about the Delta variant, and so should you be. But she can come up to speed quickly, and my resignation will be effective in 14 days. To my team, Melissa DeRosa, Robert Mejica, Beth Garvey, Stephanie Benton, Dana Caratanudo, Kelly Cummings, Rich Azzapardi, Howard Zucker, Rick Cotton, Jano Lieber, Jack Davies, and the hundreds of dedicated.
Hold up. Did you guys notice there were no commas after those names? It's just like he just read off everyone's name like it was like one long name. I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
Administration officials. I want to say this. Thank you. Thank you. And be proud. We made New York State the progressive capital of the nation. No other state government accomplished more to help people. And that is what it's all about. Just think about what we did. We passed marriage equality, creating a new civil right, legalized love for the LGBTQ community, and we generated a force for change that swept the nation. We passed the SAFE Act years ago, the smartest gun safety law in the United States of America, and it banned the madness of assault weapons. We've saved countless lives with that law. $15 minimum wage, the highest minimum wage in the nation, lifting millions of families' standard of living, putting more food on the table and clothes on their backs. And we led the nation in economic justice with that reform. We have managed every emergency Mother Nature could throw at us. Fires, floods, hurricanes, superstorms, and pandemics. We balanced the state budget and we got it done on time, more than any other administration, because government should work and perform. Free college tuition for struggling families. Nobody in this state will be denied their college dream because of their income. We have built new airports, rail, transit, roads all across this state, faster and better than ever before.
I just want to chime in here and tell you guys how he's deflecting. Notice how he's mentioning all these things, all the positive things that he has done. That is to divert your attention away from the bad thing that he has done, which is not just the sexual harassment issues that he has as well, but also the way that he like screwed up with the nursing homes, with COVID, all those people that died. So this is what he's doing right now. This is a politician like a politician if I've never ever seen one. This is what they do. Let me talk about all the good things I did so you won't think about the fact that I was groping women and that I killed all those people in the nursing home. This is what he's doing right now.
And more than any state in the nation, the most effective green economy program in the nation. We did more for Black and Latino families than any other administration. We did more for working families. We did more for our union brothers and sisters. We did more to battle racism and anti-Semitism. Today, so much of the politics is just noise. Just static.
Listening there to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo with a big announcement that he is resigning after a state attorney general.
All right. So notice how towards the end there, he was like, we did more for Blacks and Latinos. I'm like, oh boy, here he goes. I did stuff for Black people card. I did stuff for Black people and Latinos. I was a good governor. Let's not think about the fact that I like assaulted women. Oh my gosh. So, dude is done. I don't even think. So he said he's given a 14-day notice. I don't even think he should have a notice. I think they should take him out right now. I don't think he should sit there for another 14 days. He might try to grope someone else. Do you really trust this guy to stay there for all this time? Because I don't. Roger, thank you so much for the super chat. If he was feeling a little horn, then he should have did what Spitzer did and get a pros to scratch that itch and not put his subordinates at risk. Well, there you go. Thanks so much for the super chat. Dan Neal, exactly. I have a black friend. I'm like, dude, just get straight to the point and just be like, look, this is what I did. Yes, I'm guilty of these accusations. Yes, and by the way, I still want to draw this to your attention. He's also guilty of the nursing home deaths too. And I feel like because they're focusing on the sexual harassment accusations, people are forgetting about that. So I just want to stress that he's guilty of that too. And so that brings about another question that I want to ask everybody who's watching. Eric said, my black friend says I'm awesome. Here he goes. Here we go. Shout out to Diane. She's a Sabby Sabs member. I used to have a black cat. There you go. Like, where is this stuff coming from? Where is it coming from? Shout out to Inquisitive Dreamer, who's a Sabby Sabs member. Wow, that Cuomo guy that Cuomo described sounds pretty awesome. Why wasn't he governor? Oh my God. Greg said he's a walking stereotype. Oh my gosh. The question that I have for all of you in the audience, his brother Chris, when the allegations came out, his brother Chris said that he will continue to advise his brother. So now that Governor Cuomo has admitted guilt and is going to resign, do you think that Chris should step down from CNN? Go into the chat. Roger Meadows, thanks so much for the super chat. Yes, they had to get rid of Spitzer because as New York State Attorney General, he went scorched earth on Wall Street. And when he became governor, they said, we got to get rid of him. Interesting. Interesting. What do you guys think? Should Chris step down? Bride Biscuit said Chris is on mandated vacation. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Josh Davis said Chris needs to go. So here's my take on this. Hobnob said Chris Cuomo should leave CNN, no doubt. Okay, I wanted to get your opinion first. My opinion is also I think that Chris should leave CNN, and I'm going to tell you why. You know, when Chris said that he was going to continue to advise his brother, why? That's what lawyers are for. Why couldn't Governor Cuomo reach out to his lawyer? I'm pretty sure he has an attorney that he talks to, that he consults with. That's what they're for. So when he said he was going to continue to advise his brother, that's a conflict of interest, dude. Because if Andrew Cuomo told Chris, which I wouldn't be surprised if he did, I'm pretty sure he did tell his brother the truth, that he was guilty. Your brother is a journalist on CNN and they're covering, Andrew's story. So what do you do with that information? Do you keep it to yourself and protect your brother? Or do you do your job and give that information to CNN? So that right there makes Chris a conflict of interest. And if I was Chris, I would have been said, okay, CNN, bye. He got the money to do it. He ain't hard up looking for another job. He has the money to just step down like that. But to keep Chris in, knowing what has been going on, I don't know, dude. I think he needs to leave. Delthea Simmons, thanks so much for the super chat. Cuomo better be glad Zeus is a myth. Otherwise, the lightning bolts would have been flying during that announcement. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning when these accusations first came out. Remember, he said these allegations were false. His words, not mine. He said that they were false. Later on, when more evidence came out, then he came back and said, I would like to apologize. If the allegations were false, what are you apologizing for? Right? So even in that second appearance, when he came back and he apologized, he should have resigned then. it shouldn't take President Biden telling you that you should resign for you to resign. And that's another thing I want to bring up. Joe Biden, of all people, he's going to tell Andrew Cuomo he needs to resign for sexual harassment allegations. Is anyone going to tell Joe he needs to resign? Anybody? If that is not the pot calling the kettle black, I do not know what it is. Where Pilgrim said CNN will phase him out. He's currently on vacation this week. Betcha he doesn't come back. Have you guys ever had someone at your job or someone that you know, and it's like they went on vacation and they just didn't come back? I've seen that happen. They're on vacation or they are taking leave, but they just don't come back. It's kind of funny. Going to some of the comments in the chat. Radical Leftist Agenda is a Sabby Sabs member. He is getting paid for his complacency. Eric Thomas said there are 100 reasons why Chris Cuomo shouldn't be on CNN, but his brother isn't the biggest one. His bad journalism, right? His bad journalism. Shout out to Les Bones, who's a Sabby Sabs member. They don't pay for sick days. Damn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the Republicans are having a field day with this one. Because remember, back during the Brett Kavanaugh hearing, all the Democrats that were coming after him, that were telling him that he did not basically deserve to be a Supreme Court justice because of the sexual allegations against him. Remember that? Remember Cory Booker? He had that whole like dramatic speech. His eyes were like this. What are they saying now? Because see, it's different when it's your own party. Because those same people were quiet about the allegations against Joe Biden. But I bet you the Republicans are like, oh man, this is just, oh my God, they are going to eat this up. Shout out to Roger Meadows for the super chat. Cuomo calling himself a progressive 6th letter of the alphabet, out of here. Oh my gosh. Hey, Win, how's it going? Nice to see you. Yeah, so he did this to himself. He should have stepped down back when he apologized. But it's absolutely appalling. And again, like I said, I don't think he should be able to stay in office for those 14 days. This guy is not safe to be around. Can't keep his hands in his pocket. I wouldn't want to be around him. Would you? Yep, Ashura. Cory Booker. This is my Spartacus moment. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Lila. She's a Sabby member. That chat has jokes today. The chat has jokes today. Yeah, I know. These jokes are cracking me up. Shout out to Roger Meadows for the super chat. Now you see why I say abolish all political parties. There you go. I'm telling you guys, you cannot. Man, he just sounds like a true politician if I ever saw one. Let me talk about all these great things that I did so you won't think about the horrible things I did. I think he should be brought up on charges for the nursing home deaths. I don't think resignation is enough. But that's just me. Trevor, no. Trevor said his hands are in his pocket playing with his junk. Oh my God, you guys, tonight. Oh, wow. So, do you guys think that people are going to put pressure on Biden to resign? Because he's being really hypocritical here. It's just very interesting. Very interesting. Him of all people. Steve, it's that Italian touchy kissy thing. Nobody wants that. You just can't do that shit nowadays. Oh my gosh. Billy Durbin says, nope. Oh my God. Oh boy, we have hit the 7:30 mark. I told you guys I would not keep you past 8 o'clock. I have to get into the second story, which is another one that Republicans are also probably having a field day with, laughing at Democrats about, because Rand Paul came out with a statement recently about the mask mandates. He came out with a statement basically saying that, look, dude, I am not going to follow that. Isn't it always funny to me, like when Republicans, like for them, if they don't follow the law, it's okay and it's justified. But when all those people were protesting last summer, they were the ones, Fox News, they were the ones saying, oh, they're just, they're out there past curfew. If they get arrested, well, they shouldn't have been breaking the law. But here's Rand Paul basically saying, he's going to do that. In fact, he's using the phrase, they can't arrest all of us. And when I first saw this was really funny to me because it reminded me of that song. Do you guys remember this rapper named Bubba Sparks? Bubba Sparks. He was from Georgia, Southern rapper. Anyway, he had this song, and in his song, he said, don't worry about the law. They can't arrest us all. So when I first saw that, I was like, listening to Bubba Sparks? All right, so let me share my screen because this is just, I saw this and I was like, are you kidding me? And I know different people, like, people have their opinions about the mask mandates and stuff like that. And I get it. But it's just the hypocrisy that it's okay when they do it, but it's not okay for Dems to do it. I apologize for the ads. But here we
Don't watch your pup itch and lick all summer. Take action with this. Experts have developed.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed. We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again. Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandates. And if you want to shut down federal agencies again, some of which aren't even back to work yet, I will stop every bill coming through the Senate with an amendment to cut their funding if they don't come back to work in person. Local bureaucrats and union bosses, we will not allow you to do more harm to our children again this year. Children are not at any more risk from COVID than they are from the seasonal flu. Every adult who works in schools has either had the vaccine or had their chance to get vaccinated. There is no reason for mask mandates, part-time schools, or any lockdown measures. Children are falling behind in school and are being harmed physically and psychologically by the tactics that you have used to keep them from the classroom during the last year. We won't allow it again. If a school system attempts to keep children from full-time in-person school, I will hold up every bill with two amendments, one to defund them and another to allow parents the choice of where the money goes for their child's education. Do I sound fed up to you? That's because I am. I'm not a career politician. I practiced medicine for 33 years. I graduated from Duke Medical School. I've worked in emergency rooms. I've studied immunology.
See, this is where they get me when they start talking about where they went to school. Newsflash, we don't care. No one cares that you went to Duke. Why did that's just something I noticed with politicians. Like, I graduated from Yale. I went to Stanford. We don't care. The average American does not care where you went to school. Let them finish.
Immunology and virology, and I ultimately chose to become an eye surgeon. I've been telling everyone for a year now that Dr. Fauci and other public health bureaucrats were not following the science, and I've been proven right time and time again. But I'm not the only one who's fed up. I can't go anywhere these days without people coming up and thanking me for standing up for them, whether I'm at work or at events in Kentucky, at airports, in restaurants, or in stores. People thank me for taking a stand. They thank me for standing up for actual science, for standing up for freedom, for standing against mandates, lockdowns, and bureaucratic power grabs. I think the tide is turning as more and more people are willing to stand up. I see stories from across the country of parents standing up to the unions and school boards. I see brave moms standing up and saying, my kids need to go back to school in person. I see members of Congress refusing to comply with petty tyrant Pelosi. We are at a moment of truth and a crossroads. Will we allow these people to use fear and propaganda to do further harm to our society, economy, and children? Or will we stand together and say, absolutely not, not this time, I choose freedom?
Okay, I'll get to that in just a second. Shout out to Misanthropic and Out of Coffee. Biden is only coherent in the moments after he mainlines Geritol. Then he spirals back to senility. Thanks so much for the super chat. That is hilarious. Yes, Mr. X, it's Bubba Sparks Ugly. That was the name of that song. Don't worry about the law. They can't arrest us all. That is what he said in the song. That was the song. All right, you guys are hilarious in the chat. Less Bones, best ad blocker. Yeah, I need to get an ad blocker. Thank you for that reminder. All right, so regardless of how you feel about the mask mandates, that's not what I'm going to get into. What is really funny to me is just like he's outright just telling you, like, we are not going to follow your rules, your laws about this. They can't arrest us all. I feel like playing Bubba Sparks after this. Like, after this stream, I might have to put on that song. I think I have it on Spotify somewhere. But anyway, how bold is that? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if one of the squad members did that? Could you imagine if one of the Dems, any one of them, made that same statement? Well, one of the members of the squad was very critical of Rand Paul's statement, Rashida Tlaib, and she spoke out against it. Unfortunately, I'm going to try not to laugh. Unfortunately, Rashida Tlaib is now being called a hypocrite. Let me show you why. All right. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to get through a stream one day without laughing. I promise you guys. But some of this stuff is just hilarious for me. I just can't. I just can't. Oh, thanks so much, Steve, for the super chat. Give me freedom or give me death or both. That works too. Thanks so much for that, Steve. KB said, just tuned in. What Rand Paul say? Long story short, basically, he was talking about the mask mandates that Biden is going to issue and that Pelosi and them want to do. And he was basically saying that he's not going to follow it and that his constituents are not going to follow that either. And he said they can't arrest us all. But Rashida Tlaib came out against that, spoke out about Rand Paul's statement. And unfortunately, she has been considered a hypocrite, and let me show you why. Man, you got to be careful with social media. Here we go. I don't want to sign up, New York Post. I don't want to join this team either. Oh, shoots. Am I still here? Yeah, I am. Okay. Everyone check this out. Rashida Tlaib seen dancing at wedding without mask after slamming Rand Paul. Here we goes. I have to pop back out because I forgot this as a video. And I got to select share sound. So let me make sure I do that. Otherwise, you guys won't hear it. By the way, this looks like a really fun wedding. This looks like the kind of wedding I want to go to. I would be a wedding crasher. Just show up for the reception, dance, get the food and all that stuff. All right, here we go. New York Post has got to do something about these ads, man. You guys have got to work on that. So
the Hansons are going wherever the open road takes them.
Ugh. All right, so here we go. Democrat Rep. Rashida Tlaib, who assailed GOP Senator Rand Paul for urging Americans to resist new CDC guidelines, danced without a mask at an indoor wedding in a county in her home state with substantial COVID-19 transmission. She was captured on video and Instagram story as she danced and posed for photos at the large indoor gathering on Sunday. Now, as you can imagine, there's the pictures. Like I said, it looked like it's a fun wedding. Like I was like, hey, I would love to go. Now, that's the hypocrisy, guys. Like I'm telling you, like Republicans are having a field day with Dems this week. They're like, dude, we got Andrew Cuomo. We got Rashida Tlaib. Who's next? Who's next? Notori Lee is laughing. Wear a pilgrim. Ah, great advice. You got to be careful about those wedding videos, y'all. Yes, you do. Wedding videos can come back to haunt you. So, as you can imagine, Rand Paul has already called her out about it. So let me pull up his tweet. Because this is just too funny, man. It's too funny. Let me share my screen. Here we go. This is from Senator Rand Paul. Oh, the hypocrisy of the left knows no bounds. And you can see here, Rashida Tlaib seen dancing at wedding without mask. They're eating this up, you guys. They are eating this up. And again, that's that video that I showed you guys earlier. But what do you guys think about that? Should she respond? Let me come back to the chat. Leslie said, I wish Jim Crow Joe was next. Rand Paul is on a roll to run in 2024. That's what CJ says. Charles Booker is running against him for his seat. I believe so. I think he announced that. If not, I know he had an exploratory committee, which usually means you're about to run. All right. Shout out to Roger for the super chat. Regarding Cuomo, New York progressives are happier than GOP. There you go. Anthony said fake left. Rita has a good point. No mask on anyone, but wants mask mandate for all. Right. So this reminds me last year, Gavin Newsom. He's been the talk of the town lately, hasn't he? Gavin Newsom shut down all the restaurants, San Francisco, told people that they couldn't, they were on lockdown, just like we were here in the Boston area. And then he was seen eating at a restaurant, no mask. Nancy Pelosi went to the hair salon. Everything else was shut down. Everybody else was told to stay home. But Nancy Pelosi had to go get her hair done. A lot of us had to get our hair done. At one point, during the pandemic, I thought I was going to have to cut my husband's hair. And I don't know how to cut men's hair. And I realized that I don't know how to cut men's hair. And I realized that it's not as easy as I thought it was. He didn't let me do it. I was too scared. I was afraid to do it. I knew I was going to mess it up. So why did, us everyday Joe Schmoes, while we had to sit at home with, our roots showing, why guys had to sit at home with their hair like growing out of control and they couldn't like go get their hair cut at the barbershop. The elites were still going out and getting those things done. And that's why I tell you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. They're both corporate. They're both elite. They have shared interest. And the club that they're in, we are not in it. Leslie said, I can't believe Nancy actually paid somebody for that hairstyle. Ouch. Ouch. Gosh, you guys are brutal tonight. The comments. Steve said, I shaved my head. That's great, Steve. Like, you're brave. I was like really scared because I've never held like clippers before and I put it in my hand and I was like, I cannot do this. Oh my gosh. I just saw one about the hair. Where did it go? Echo J said, I watched YouTube vids from pro stylists and did a passable job on my husband's hair. Shout out to Echo J. I watched some of those videos too. I was still scared. I was like, I am really going to mess this up, man. CJ said, no problem in Texas. Everything stayed open. I heard that because I have friends that live in Austin. For whatever reason, a couple years ago, there was like this big rush or this wave of people that moved to Austin, Texas. I forget why. But anyway, they were telling me that like they didn't have to go through all this, that their, jobs weren't an issue. So UG Magazine said, isn't Newsom married to a Pelosi? Okay, so Pelosi, so this is like a political dynasty. Good question. He's related to Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy Pelosi's daughter is slated to come into Congress. Just giving everybody a heads up about that one. I believe Nancy Pelosi's father was also a politician. I believe so. I have to double check that. But another interesting thing about Nancy Pelosi, did you guys know that she used to babysit the Kennedys? Dude, when I tell you, They're all in the same club and we are not in it. We are not in it. Dan said he was mayor of Baltimore. Oh, thank you, Dan. I thought so. She's coming from a political dynasty family, like, and that I don't think that's a good thing to have, because the last thing I said to myself is like when Jeb Bush was running. Remember, he was supposed to be the favorite in the beginning. Remember that? Like, people actually thought that Jeb Bush was a favorite. That was kind of funny to me. I was like, really? This guy's like really boring. But anyway, I remember saying to myself, like, God, not another Bush. Same thing with Hillary, like, God, not another Clinton. So these dynasties, these political dynasties, I'm not a fan of that, man. I'm not. Valerie said still are rushing to ruin Austin. Yeah, like Austin like had like this thing where like it's just like the same thing like a couple years back all these people were moving to San Diego. That was like a big thing. And I guess people decided that, California is way too expensive, but you can still move to Texas and still be close enough to California to go visit. So that became like a thing. Dart said, I bet Biden won't last past 2022. We need to get rid of Kamala. Excuse me. I feel you there, and I am very worried because I have a feeling that he is not going to do a second term. And if he does not, then we're stuck with Kamala. Not that either one of them are great, because they're not. But could you imagine, Miss? I've also never been to Europe. Could you imagine her being president of this country? She's already the most unfavorable vice president since the 1970s. That poll came out recently. People don't like her that much. And we tried to tell people that people don't like her that much when they so wanted to get her in. When CNN and MSNBC were praising her and like, she's the next big thing. We tried to tell them, like, dude, people don't really like her like that. That would be scary. E. Heller said Pelosi is third in line. So there you go. Political dynasty. All JC, they can take a mandate and shove it up their ass. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Kate said the DNC are trying to elect Trump again so they can do even less. I have about 9 minutes left before I have to hop off tonight. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that Trump would run again? I think I did a video about that like a while back. Or do you think it's going to be I forget his name, DeSantis? What's the possibility, you guys? Do you think that Trump would run again? He's getting up there in age, but so is Biden. Lucille said Kamala has the Hillary stink. Yeah. Yeah. She's just not likable, man. I don't know. And that laugh of hers, like really, it bothers me. I don't know what it is about it that I don't know. E. Heller said Bezos will run. Oh, Lord. Bezos he really, really wants to get in, man. I want to just tell him, like, dude, just hang it up. Maybe do something else. I don't know. Thanks so much for the super chat, Roger. Trump Pence first GOP ticket that didn't have a Nixon or Bush on the ticket since Hoover. That's a good trivia question. If you guys like to play trivia, that's one thing I do miss. I miss like going to the pub and like on trivia night. That was fun. Eating like nachos and doing trivia. Don't get to do much of that now because things are still weird. Like, even though things have reopened here, like in the Boston area, it's still kind of weird going to certain places and doing those kinds of things. Ken said the problem with Trump is that the left has fomented so much hate that he can't trust his advisors or get anything done. Well, I could see that. I could see that. Thanks for the super chat, misanthropic and out of coffee. You all say it wrong. In Florida, our governor's name is pronounced D Satan. Oh, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yes. Going through the chat. Hey, I noticed a lot of new faces like in the chat tonight, like people I don't usually see. Welcome, newbies. Cool. If you are new, I wonder, like, how did you guys find me? I like asking people that sometimes because we all know the algorithm is, whew, it is not favorable for indie media. So I always like asking people like how they found me. So far, most of the responses I've gotten is Jimmy Dore. Most people found me from him. Yes, Astro, this is true. She denied prisoners their legitimate release to keep them on the fire breaks at $1 an hour. Yeah, man. Let me tell you guys something. So you know that CNN was doing this whole, like, I guess, sit down interview with AOC. And I was thinking about, excuse me. That's why I have my tea. I was thinking about documentaries and how much I love documentaries. And I was thinking about what would a documentary about Kamala Harris look like? Would they include the parts where she exploited prison labor? Would they include her sending Black parents to jail because their kids didn't go to school? You know, one of the women that happened to was actually in the emergency room. That's why she wasn't at home with her child. She was in the ER. And Kamala Harris had her arrested. Do you think they would put those things in the documentary? No. They'd make her look as good as they could. Make her look as great as possible. I don't think they would put that in the documentary. That's why every time I watch documentaries, I always do like a fact check after. Because I'm like, did that really happen? Jonathan said, we need a revolution. The working class needs to take power and create a new society based on solidarity. And let's get into that before I have to go. I don't like to just talk about problems. I like to talk about solutions. And the way things are heading right now with the eviction moratorium, that's up in 60 days, more people will be evicted. Because there's no way, you're not going to be able to come up with the money. I talked about this last night. You're not going to be able to come up with the money that quickly for the back rent and the rent that you currently owe. And then unemployment, that stops September. And then we're going into January, and Biden was supposed to cancel student debt. He was supposed to, forget it. You guys know it by now. You heard me say this so many times, but obviously now he's saying that it's extended until the end of January. And then after that, he's like, look, there's no more extensions. So what's going to happen? The economy is going to suffer because the reality is people have to pay their bills. People are going to have to start back paying those student loans again. And for people who have been demoted, for people who are unemployed still haven't found work, people that have been laid off, some people have had their hours reduced. If you don't pay your federal student loans, the federal government will garnish your wages. So even if you try not to pay it, the federal government will still get their money. They will find you. So what's going to happen is that leaves less income for those people to spend. That means you're going to see less people going out to eat dinner, buying clothes, retail shopping. And when people aren't spending money, the economy goes down. This is why I said just cancel it. Because people are going to have to find a way to make ends meet. They still have to pay their bills. Like I said, like the federal government, man, look, they will find you. And they're going to make sure that they get their money. And you're going to have less. And people are going to spend less. And that is going to affect the economy. So I've said this before, and I say it time and time again. We need a general strike. This is not just something I want to see on the left. This is not something that should only be on the right. This should not be affiliated with any type of party. What this should be is working class people coming together and fighting against corporations. And if just for one moment, if we all could just do that and put our parties aside, forget about being Democrat, forget about being Republican, forget about being independent, and come together and fight against the corporations, then we all win. But if we continue to divide ourselves with the left and the right and the middle and the front and the back, we're doing exactly what they want us to do. They don't want us to come together. They want to keep us divided, because as long as we're divided and we're fighting against each other, they can continue screwing us over. That's your congressmen and women. That's the politicians that we put in the Senate. It's the president of the United States. They want us to be distracted. There is a general strike that is scheduled for October 15th, 2021. I know there's a lot of new people in the chat, so I am going to put that link in the chat again, because I want everyone to be aware of this, because a lot of people don't know about it. I don't even think, and someone tell me if I'm wrong about this in the chat, I have not seen this on mainstream media. Have you guys seen this on mainstream media? Let me know, because I haven't seen it. I'm going to put the link in here. Let me know, guys. Because when I did a show about this, most people that reached out to me said, thank you for doing that, because I didn't even know that was happening. They want to keep us in the dark. There are teenagers on TikTok that know about this, because a lot of people found it on TikTok. Where Pilgrim said they will never say a word about that. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me, because I haven't seen it on mainstream media. I've seen it on independent media. But you're right. They don't want to talk about that because they are bought just like politicians are. Yeah, absolutely. Jared said nobody watches MSM anymore, Sab. You know this. Oh, yeah, because CNN's ratings tanked. I heard about that. After Trump lost, that was it. That's why they're still talking about January 6th, you guys. They're still talking about that. They're like, the day that we all feared. I wasn't afraid. David said, I don't know if anyone on mainstream media cable TV stations, but I don't think I've seen it. Any stories on the net, and those pop up on my internet. Yeah, I definitely wish it was advertised more. Definitely so. All right, guys, it is 8:03, and I promised you that I would not keep you past time tonight. So I am going to hop off of here. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And for all the newbies, I saw a lot of new names in the chat that I'm not familiar with seeing. Thanks so much for coming to hang out with me, and I hope you like what you saw. And I do want to remind you, thanks so much, Thomas, for the super chat. Big fan of your show. I hear a lot about general strikes, but I never hear about a plan for the violence the state will commit against protesters. That is of a concern. I think I'm going to do a part 2 to that general strike episode that I did with Jackie, where we need to talk about how to prepare for what could happen when we do this. Um, and if you are one where you cannot physically go out and protest, or you just don't feel safe doing so, one of the easiest ways that you can participate in this strike is just stop buying their shit. Stop shopping at Amazon. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, just cancel it. Just cancel it. Stop shopping at Walmart for like a month if you can. I know some people can't because that's the only retailer that they have like in their town. But if you can, like, you can hit them back that way. So I do know some people do have concerns about that. But I think I'm going to do a part 2 to that. And yes, thanks so much for mentioning that, Jonathan. Support Alabama coal miners on strike. That's another one that we need to be aware of as well. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you want to know how you can help my show, you can come after me on Patreon. Come after me on Patreon. You can go to my Patreon page. Come after me. It's like you're going to hunt me down. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, patreon.com, Sabrina Salvati. And again, welcome to all the newbies. So nice to see like new faces and names as well as the usual peeps. Love hanging out with you guys. At 9:00, just a reminder, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, Dr. Cornell West will be on the Fred Hampton Leftist podcast on YouTube. So definitely go check that out. I'm going to check that out myself. And other than that, you guys, you know how I usually end this. Have a good night. Keep up the fight.